you one thing, if a little green man pops out of me, I'm shooting first and asking questions later.
You are on the verge of destroying the entire universe.
Welcome to the Strange Podcast with Sam and Logan.
If you enjoy the show, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening, and please give us a good rating. If you want to share a story or have ideas for a future episode, you're welcome to visit us at www.thestrangepodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome to The Strange Podcast. This is episode 46, and I'm Logan Marks.
And I'm Sam Baxter. Today's September 6, 2018.
So, how have you been?
Not bad, you know, it's first week of September. I mean, for me, NFL and college football are back, so I'm good with that.
The foosballs.
Yeah, foosballs are back, man.
All over the place now.
Yeah, there's balls flying everywhere. So,
as long as they're not in your face. Are you
no. Unless you're into that type of shit, then it's all right. Then please enjoy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And please enjoy responsibly. So, what's going on with you? How's everything been going?
Oh, pretty good. I had some crazy shit happen to me this weekend.
Did you?
Not too crazy. I was painting my house, so I'm in the front of my house painting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy comes up to my fence in the front yard. There's a road up there, and he kind of walks up and he's like, hey, and I'm like, hey, what's up? He goes, well, just want to talk to you. I'm your neighbor over here. I just moved in.
Yeah. My name's Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. And I just moved into your neighborhood. From across town, about a half hour away. All right. He just sold his trailer, and he's moving in here. And he says that he went to the local grocery store. Well, it's not local. It's about like a 10-minute drive.
Okay.
And he told me he and his girlfriend went out to the grocery store to get some stuff. And when we're there, they got pulled over by the cops. His girlfriend got arrested. And so he had to hitchhike back because he didn't have a driver's license, and they said that he couldn't take the car.
Sure.
So he hitchhikes back. Somebody picked him up. He made it back to the new place.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know anybody here, and he was wondering if I can give him a ride to his old place so he could get something. So I was like, yeah, I got to drive down there anyway to pick up some stuff. Got any more painting supplies?
Sure.
We get the car. We take off. I go down there, and he's telling me about who he is and what he does and all this stuff and how he got to where he's at. And he kind of, but before we left, he was offering me, it's like, hey, like forgive me the ride, I'll give you this brand new, it's like a Duke grill that he just got. Mm-hmm. It's like worth $200-$300. He said I can have it, and I was like, no, I was like, no, it's all right, it's cool, that seems like a lot for just a ride, just a simple ride, I know it's a little bit out of the way, but it's not worth $200-$300.
Yeah.
And they come in, and so I take him over there, and he goes into the house, right? So and he goes, hey, come on in. Let me show you my old place.
Shit.
So I'm like, all right. So I go in there.
Does this guy look like you can take him? Because what if he's gonna try and kiss you or something? like you sure you could wrestle this guy off you if he just pins you down?
If my head was all greased up with oil, I could probably take him on.
He's like, here, take off your shorts, put on these ones, put on these Speedos.
Hot, sir.
I know.
You look like you need to cool down a little bit.
I know.
I had the Speedos that I bought.
I know. I
want about your side.
I want to see how big your bulge is. Put on Speedos.
I go in the house, right? I took my gun with me, and I have concealed carry.
Okay.
Concealed carry.
Good man.
And so we go in there, and he's showing me around the place, and I'm trying not to go in front of him. Like he's like trying to, oh yeah, come down this way, come down. So I'm getting kind of like worried that he's in wanting me to go into a room and then take me from do something from behind.
Yeah, like I said, Speedos. Yeah, I got
Speedos. So and then he shows it around. And finally we go to like his kitchen area, and he tells me, he's like, you've been such a nice guy. I want to tell you the truth. Because I feel bad about hiding this because you give me a ride. Nobody would give me a ride.
Okay.
And so he goes, well, the reason my girlfriend got arrested was because she had stole some like purses and stuff, and she had taken the credit cards, and basically committed fraud. She bought a bunch of stuff, and she said, because while we were going over there, he was telling me that he thought she was cheating. Like he had thought his girlfriend was cheating on him. Because she started showing up with all this stuff.
Okay.
And what I found, like the stuff is like that grill and all that other things that he was trying
all
to
this new stuff.
Yeah, all this new stuff. So finally he's telling me that, and he's walking to the kitchen, and he puts his hand under the sink, and he pulls out this hammer, and I'm thinking, oh shit, he's gonna fucking attack me.
My gun, it's in the car.
I was like, where's my gun? But like, I was like, okay, so I backed up a little bit, and then he starts taking the hammer, and he starts hammering to the ceiling of the kitchen.
Hammering the ceiling?
Yeah, the ceiling. He starts banging on the ceiling. He makes like a hole.
Okay.
Like, and then so he reaches up there, and he pulls out some purses and some other stuff.
Oh. Okay.
And he tells me, well, the reason I needed to ride over here was because my girlfriend told me that all the stuff was here, and I want to get all the stuff before the cops come, so she won't they won't have any evidence on her. And I'm like sitting, I was like, you just
included me on this fucking bullshit. You motherfucker.
I was like, why the fuck did you tell me this?
Yeah.
Why are you showing me all this
See
stuff?
this gun I have here? I'm gonna have to use it. So what happened?
So I was like, he was like, now that I have it, he's asked me, what do I do with this?
What do I
I'm
do
like,
with
dude,
it?
I was like, get the fuck rid of it and
Yeah.
leave and get rid of your girlfriend, because she's basically a piece of crap.
Yeah, she's trouble.
She's nothing but trouble. And he's like, yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I'll say, well, let's get out of here, because I shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, no shit.
I was like, so he's like, all right. So he grabs the person, grabs it, we take off, and we go back. And while I'm driving back, he starts telling me about like he doesn't know what to do. Should he bail her out and all that stuff? And I was like, man, that's all on you.
Yeah,
That's all on you, man.
Pal.
Yeah, because he was in his 50s, and I was like, you know what, you're in your 50s.
He's asking you for advice?
Yeah, you're asking me. I'm an idiot, so like.
Yeah, what the fuck? You're older, man. You got more wisdom, pal.
You should have more wisdom, man. And he's like, should I bail her out? Should I stay with her? I was like, dude, that's your decision.
Yeah.
But if it was me, I'd be out of there. I'd leave her in that jail and let her rot.
Jeez.
So so we finally took him home, and he was like, yeah, Leo, I'll let you know what happens. I was like, yeah, whatever, but I really don't care.
I don't really give a fuck. So go ahead and tell me. I don't give a shit.
But yeah, that was a little excitement that happened to me.
Damn. So how long ago was that? Was that this week?
Yeah, that was on Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. No, I think it was Saturday.
So have you seen him since? I
saw him yesterday.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like in my backyard, and he was gonna give me the money for the gas or whatever.
Yeah.
I told him, don't worry about it, and asked him. So he's like, so you still, did you bail her out or what? He was like, well, they won't let me bail her out, but I went and visit her, and I'm gonna stay with her. And I was like, you're gonna stay with her, dude? He's like, yeah. I was like, he was telling me, he's like, she's got me arrested a couple times, and she's almost got me deported.
Oh fuck!
And now she's doing this, and now I got to deal with this. And I was like, and you're still with her? I was like, I can't help it, dude. I love her. Like,
either got him over a barrel or that pussy's good. It's one of the two.
I know. It's like, it must be some real good pussy, dude.
Yeah, I know. Hey, let me have a piece of that.
You can keep that shit.
I know.
Nope,
hey, let me see what's so good about it. Let me see what's so good. Let me get a sample, guy. So even he's in love with her. So even though she's got him arrested, he's gonna stick with her.
He's good. Yeah.
So
love hurts.
So besides offering you money, like, did he offer you anything else? Like, did he offer to give your wife like some purses or something? Or
I was like, whatever you have, I don't want, sir.
I know.
Keep that to yourself.
Give these purses to your wife. She'll like these. These are
like them. I almost got them for nothing.
Yeah, don't worry about them. My gift to you. Tell her to put her print all over these too.
Here's some Cheetos. Eat some Cheetos.
I know.
Touch them and all that stuff. So
I know.
Get your prints on them, and then
hey, talk into my pocket and tell me that you like these purses. That you wanted me to give these to you. Fuck, man. What a. I mean, at least the guy was cool. Luckily, he didn't try and harm you or anything.
No, he didn't. He seemed kind of harmless. I think he was more just a drunk with a bad pussy problem.
Yeah, no shit. Maybe that's all pussy can get. So he's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna get. I mean, he's 50 years old. And that's all he's looking for. And he's not married, right? So.
No. What can you do?
Nope. Well, that was interesting.
So
Starting off the show talking about some good pussy. That's not bad. That's what this type of show is going to be about.
basically, I had my own strange news incident.
Yeah, no shit. Well, lucky you didn't turn up on the strange news. Shit. Fucking radio guy who knew better should have went with
He
this
said,
guy.
all the strange news you do, and you're out. You're out.
Yeah, you're almost part of it. Fuck. Well, good thing nothing happened.
So we should get into the strange news.
Yeah, let's get into some strange news.
All right, we're gonna take a break. When we get back, we'll talk about more crazy, stupid people.
All right.
It's time for strange news.
This is a little weird one, and for those people who watch Seinfeld, like I did, this is kind of like relates to that. But Overdue Library Book returned 50 years later.
By Mr. Bookman.
Yeah, Mr. Bookman tracked him down. So Kentucky Library said a man returned a library book with a note apologizing for being 50 years overdue.
Oh, I wonder how much the library fine was.
So hold on. The Lexington Public Library tweeted a photo of the book, Don Lawson's, and this is the book, The United States in World War I, the story of General John J. Pershing and the American Expeditionary Forces. That's what the name of the book was. And there was an apology note on it, and it said, the note signed Dale H. The book was checked out in 1968. So the library said that the 15-cent per day late fee was capped at $6.75.
Oh, okay.
But without the cap fee, it would have been more than $2,700.
For the book.
Get all that interest and all that shit.
After the compound interest was $1 million.
Yeah, no, $1.7 million. So the librarian tweeted, "It's never too late to return an overdue book." So good job by Dale H. I'm not sure how he had that book for so long, especially that book didn't sound that fucking awesome.
I guess better late than never, huh?
Yeah, I know. And luckily he didn't. But he was all scared, man. You just have to know. You just put Dale H. I mean, it's not like he had like an obscure name. I mean.
I know what I wonder what like got him to the point where he like decided to return it.
Maybe he just like fucking he's been eating away at him for like 49 years.
He couldn't sleep. He's
I
all
know,
like,
he's like
my life's been a wreck ever since I checked this book
I know.
out.
I can't sleep. I can't eat. Like the cops always looking at me.
Looking over my shoulder.
This book's been the bane of my life.
The library police can come get me. I can't live with that shit, man.
I know. I've been through 3 marriages. I can't be happy. So Dale H. returned the book 50 years later. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good thing it was. You could be a man and pay that $6.75. I mean, you didn't have to leave a fucking note, and it's like, sorry for the overdue late book, signed Bob H. It's like oh.
I mean, could at least left a $5,
He could have been, it could have been some, or he could have been like left his full name. Instead, it's like, some name where they can't catch him. See, this guy's still going underground. How many other books does he have? Fuck. This guy's been doing this all over the country, I bet.
I guess, yeah, probably. Sounds like a criminal.
Oh, Dale H., how we despise thee.
So I got a story here from Henrico County. This guy basically, he took down an electric fence that he erected on Tuesday morning. So the fence separated his front yard from the Henrico County school bus stop. The man, whose name was Brian, said he was sick of students who were cursing, fighting, and littering at the bus stop. So he was getting so mad.
What is he, like a bus stop truant off?
He was like, yeah. He said they don't respect other people's land, Brian. I pick up trash every day. So he was getting so pissed off that he decided to put up electric fence.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Harm the children. That's a bright idea.
So he said, because he said he put up like no trespassing signs and he posted it up years ago, but nobody would pay attention, so they would get onto his property. So he was getting upset, so he decided to put up the electric fence.
Fucking idiot.
The parents of the area and other people got pissed off about it.
Yeah.
And decided to go and tell them, hey, you need to take that shit down because you're gonna hurt one of the kids.
Yeah, no shit. You're gonna really hurt somebody.
But the thing was, the only reason he took it down was because when he put it up, he didn't put it on his own land. He put it on the county land, on county
you
property.
Idiot. You fucking idiot.
So he was trespassing on
So he
the
put
county
this
property.
big fence up, and he put it on not his land. So then he was forced to take it down.
Yeah, that's the only reason he took it down.
Shit.
So
What
he
a
considers
fucking
Yeah, he was thinking about putting up another one,
idiot.
but he thinks he's got his point across by putting up the first one.
They get the gist of it.
They get the gist, yeah.
they know I mean business. Damn, fucking yeah.
gotta
Harming
get-
kids is really good guy.
I mean, you gotta be kind of an asshole to put up an electric fence. They're fucking kids, you know. That's what they do. They're just gonna be.
I mean, I get it. You know, you're irked and stuff, but man.
Yeah.
You know, do something like our last 2 weeks where guys
Yeah.
pulled out guns
Yeah,
on kids.
pull out
do
guns
something like
like
that.
normal
Pull a gun on
people.
kids. That's
Like an American.
yeah. That's the best thing to do. That'll show them. That'll learn nigga.
That'll learn them. A couple gunshots in the air, then they
Yeah, no. Like
put
at
the fear in
school dance.
anybody.
At the school dance, waving the gun in their face.
At the swim pool, pull out a shotgun.
Yeah, I know. Till the DJ has to wrestle you to fucking guy. Yeah. So this next story is, I guess it's homage, to the, we all know that the Japanese work pretty hard. I mean, I work with a few Japanese people, and they work really hard. They take that shit seriously.
Yeah.
And a lot of the jobs they do, that's why they've been successful with their work. A lot of the technology they built, but this goes to a whole new level, and even the type of work, because a dedicated delivery driver, he braved a typhoon on a motor scooter to try and deliver his pizza. So this so there was a typhoon there this last week, where it was Typhoon Jebi is what it was called, and this guy, he was delivering pizza for Domino's, and the winds were fucking 50-mile-an-hour winds and stuff, and he's trying to brave them, and somebody caught it on video where he's just trying to, his scooter won't go against the wind.
On the scooter?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn.
And he's trying to keep it upright. He's fighting to keep it upright. And he's trying to deliver this fucking pizza. Now, I'm pretty sure if it was like you or I, we'd be like, fuck this pizza. I'll just sit back and eat it.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, I'm not going to deliver this. Fuck these people. Fuck them for ordering pizza during a hurricane, But this guy, or typhoon, he tried doing it. There's a video of it, and it shows him trying to get through it. And it ends up toppling over, and he's still trying. It doesn't show any further. But, I mean, hey, man.
I just imagine him flying around like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I know.
like a little witch lady on a bike.
I know, just trying to go against the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you on your pizza, too.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was, I'm not going to say it's honorable because I think it's stupid, but fuck, man. The guy has balls, and... that just shows how much. Some of those guys, they work pretty hard. A lot of them die, on the
they get
job.
shit done, man.
Yeah, they do. So, kudos to him. I wish my pizza delivery guy was on top of it. What
Shit,
can
I
I
could barely
say?
get into the places that deliver to my house.
Yeah, you got it hard, man. You got it pretty hard.
I got only one chain that will come to my house.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Is it
just
good?
one. Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Is it? Oh, that's good then. At least you
It's
got
one
something.
of the one of the better chains. So yeah,
Well,
it
growing
actually got
up,
pretty quick.
I'm growing up. Nothing delivered out there. Remember?
Oh, I know. Growing up, you couldn't even get. You could give a tip of $100 and they still wouldn't come out.
No, fuck no. No, yeah, that sucks. So what do you got?
So okay, let me ask you. I got a little quiz here for you.
Oh shit.
So if you found a dead beaver, found a dead beaver on the road, would you A, keep on moving and not deal with it? Would you B, get out of the car or wherever you're at and get it off the road, or would you C, would you have sex with it?
Fucking a beaver. I feel like that's where this is going. I would have thought you would have said, hey, would you leave? B, fucking call the animal protection, and C, bury it. Instead, you have to throw fucking in there.
Oh yeah, because it's a true
What
story.
happened, man?
So a Washington State man was arrested this week for sexually assaulting a beaver, which has been laying on the ground dying.
Dying? It wasn't even dead?
It wasn't dead yet, so it's still warm.
So he's a humanitarian. Okay.
After getting run over by a car.
Okay.
So Huh?
Oh, I said okay.
So Richard Delp, 35, was taken into custody on Monday night, not long after the alleged incident in Columbia Park. A witness stated that she caught Delp in the act while attempting to rescue the furry victim. She said she saw the Beaver get hit by the car and was on her way back from the scene with a container to put it in. Okay. So when she got back, which was like 30 minutes later, Delp was on top of the mortally wounded critter. Pants unzipped with a pocket full of meth, according to the police.
I'm confused as why he would fuck it. I don't get it.
The woman called 911, and the officers eventually showed up and arrested Delp. He was later charged with animal cruelty and possession of methamphetamine.
Oh my gosh!
Unfortunately, the Beaver did not survive.
Oh, I think in that situation, it's probably better it didn't.
Yeah, probably, because then that's a traumatic.
Yeah,
that's pretty traumatic.
Buddies, he got fucked by some guy.
What the hell's up with that? Why would you? That's not even. Why would they be the first thing on your mind to do?
Yeah, like what was he doing out? Like, was it? It wasn't in residential. I'm assuming it was probably out in the country, right?
It was like in a park.
It's in a park. So he saw the Beaver get hit, and he says, "I'm just gonna go fuck it."
Yeah, it's like, Beaver's Beaver.
Yeah, I know. See, I told you the show was about pussy tonight.
Oh man, that's horrible.
I know, man.
What? I just get like, why would that the first thing? Well, he's all meth, so
that's true. But I don't know, man. This might be something we can't understand. So maybe we should just leave it alone. Let's just fucking move on.
We broke the internet right now.
I know. We will never know why this guy decided to fuck a beaver. So, we're talking about a real animal.
Oh, all right. So what do you got?
That's some good pussy. So we got. Okay. So the Florida man, another Florida segment. This Florida man shot at a woman's home after she wrote a bad restaurant review. So the Orange County Sheriff's Office said the shots were fired in retaliation for a negative review Monica Wally wrote about this diner called the Daybreak Diner. The gunfire happened the same night her review was posted. So she was just chilling in her living room and gunshots just started ringing by her, and she's like, "What?" And she said she knew that because she wrote that. That somehow this is retaliation. She says she wrote in a review that after the restaurant refused her disabled mother service, Wally says the restaurant told her mother needed to be accompanied by another person if she wanted to dine there. She says the restaurant told her mother she could order and wait for her food in her vehicle. So that's pretty fucked up.
Don't they have to have like handicap access and stuff? Or
I don't know, but it said Well, she had a fall at the restaurant in the past, and had gone to the restaurant after with a companion. So maybe because she fell, they decided, like, hey, this woman's not worth it to have her in here.
Oh, that she might just.
Yeah, like maybe she
like
what
trying
if she
to
sues us
dish them out of money.
I don't know, but following the post, the diner received angry phone calls and negative comments from online users. The owner of the diner said her business was ruined following the post. So, I mean, who knows what really happened? Like if they actually did turn her away. And it sucks, right? If your business gets ruined for that. But man, are you gonna kill somebody? I mean, you're just gonna end your life. You're just gonna go to jail. So,
yeah, I mean,
is that really worth it?
No. But like it. If it was like a pool party or kids, dancing, then I can see you bringing a gun into the situation.
Yeah, of course. But, yeah, I know.
This is business.
Yeah, we don't mess with business. If it's all about money, man. You fucking leave that shit alone.
That's right. When it's business, you do it the business way.
Yeah,
not guns. You don't bring guns into that.
Yeah, this is. I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. I mean, we've all heard of the news of like people writing reviews on diners or restaurants, and the restaurants kind of retaliating or getting pissed off. I mean, Yelp's a big thing, and a lot of people, I know like one person that uses that's all. Oh, what's a Yelp review? Like if we're gonna go eat somewhere, I'm like, fuck that review. Let's just go and check it out, and some people live off that.
Well, I use the reviews to see like if it's getting a lot of bad reviews. I don't really want to go waste my money and time on a place that
Sure.
people are hating on.
Yeah, I got it.
You know, if it gets some decent rating, I'll go check it out. But I'm not,
well,
I can
I've
understand
actually,
a couple bad reviews and I'll still go. But like
I've
if it's like
been to places like after, like it was really good, and I went and I checked the reviews after, and I was like, and they just torched it.
oh really?
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of worked the opposite. So that's why I just stay away from the reviews. I don't really.
You don't even pay attention.
No, I don't. Rotten Tomatoes, all those things. I don't follow any of that stuff. You know, if something seems good or looks good to me, I'll check it out. But if it's not, then I won't. Bother. Like I'm not gonna go watch Mamma Mia. I don't need someone to tell me that movie sucks.
You already know.
Yeah, I already know that shit's garbage. I don't need millions of people to tell me.
You're not a 17-year-old girl.
No, sir.
No, so I'm a man. I don't want some garbage.
So yeah, I don't know. That does suck though. I mean, like I said, if the restaurant, if their shit's ruined, I mean, but then again, it holds restaurants more accountable.
But like I said, it's like one review though. Like I don't see how that would.
Okay, but if the review's bad enough to where they're saying, "Hey, my disabled mother was turned away service," that pisses people off.
I guess so, but then like you don't know if someone's just putting out there.
You don't, but again, a lot of people will read it and just fucking jump right on.
That's true.
It.
Just like jump on the.
They will like, "Oh my god, this is fucking horrible. We gotta boycott this place."
Yeah, has to be truths on the internet.
Yeah, you could. Especially like if you know the place or you've been there lots of times, you might be like, I'm not gonna believe it. But if you're somebody like that's never been there and you read that, you're like, maybe I'll stick away. Like you said,
yeah.
If I read that something bad,
yeah, but I wouldn't like I said,
you wouldn't do it on one
review.
But people, like I said, when it's handicapped, people usually they have a softer spot for that.
Like if they had like a history of doing it, maybe a couple people were going in there saying like, they kicked me out because I was handicapped. They kicked me out, because my mom was this and that. Then I'd be like, I could see that, Yeah. But like one review, I wouldn't let that. Yeah,
they take that stuff serious. Like
some people do. Yeah, that's true.
And there's obviously enough of them because if she's telling her business is ruined because of this, it warrants her this guy to shoot back at her house. Like, jeez, man,
it's a little bit over the top.
Yeah.
That's like gang style shit.
It is, man. It is. It's fucking gangster shit. It's fucking mafia stuff.
Well, I got a story here about. I'm pretty sure these guys probably got good reviews after this incident.
All right.
So, woman.
I'm there.
Woman falls through ceiling of Mexican restaurant in California. So a woman believed to be on crack cocaine fell through a ceiling at a Mexican restaurant in California. So the footage shows the moment the woman comes down. There's footage of this tumbling down from the ceiling at a Sobraroso Mexican grill in Garden Grove, California. So people saw her sneak into the restroom, People saw her sneak into the restaurant and dart off into the bathroom, and she was in there for a while. And after a while, they started to get like a small line of people forming at the bathroom because she was in there for so long. Had the door closed, and they said all of a sudden debris started falling from the ceiling in the area outside the restroom.
She's taking a
so
big
like
shit?
they're thinking, so it's like aliens are in the ceiling.
Yeah, I know.
So like when they saw this, the staff started telling people, it's like, hey, you guys might want to move your tables and all your plates out of the way because we think there's somebody up on the roof, up on the ceiling. And so eventually, the video shows like the roof or the ceiling kind of moving around and stuff. And all of a sudden, the woman just comes falling down, shocking all the people in the restaurant. People are grabbing their plates and moving stuff out of the way and freaking out,
I know.
And,
my enchiladas, oh no.
And then she
God damn it.
There's good tacos, I'm not getting no shit on. So
my fajitas are ruined. So what happened?
She falls to the ceiling and she radically walks up and starts trying to avoid help, acting like nothing's going on.
Act like nothing happened, like nothing, nothing's out of the ordinary, just like nothing to see here.
Oh, nothing to see here. Just a lady falls through the ceiling.
I just came through the roof. Don't worry about me.
And so like, apparently,
hey, what's the chef special tonight? Fuck.
So moments later, she kind of calms down a little bit. The paramedics get there and they take care of her. So the Garden Grove Police Department says the woman may suffer from mental illness, but she did also test positive for meth.
Oh shit, meth again. So okay, wait. So what was she doing in the ceiling?
I don't know. She just went into the bathroom and
She started dancing or whatever, or she started
just
jumping
started-
around.
I don't know. She went up.
Was she like a heavyset woman? Like why would the ceiling like just collapse?
Well, because
that?
it's like the ceilings at the school, where they're like the. It's
I haven't
not
been
like
to school for a long time. You gotta educate me, man.
well, you have the roof and then they have that like the ceiling, but it's not a really thick material.
Okay.
So it's just basically kind of just up there in paneling. So you could get up. I mean, they're not designed to have people walk on them. They're just kind of designed to, to cover the top and insulate a little bit.
Yeah.
So she's up there doing God knows what, and she must have stepped on a soft spot and went through.
It's too bad if she's got mental problems, but that math kind of.
I'm pretty sure it's 90% the math.
Jeez, man. Oh, comes back to the math.
Oh, it's always math and guns.
Hey, I gotta, have you been reading about that Philadelphia guy, that homeless guy that those people he bought gas for, and they set up that GoFundMe?
Yeah, I heard some story about that.
Yeah, they got like $400,000, and then they only gave him like some of it.
I think they were giving them to like partially, and they were supposed to buy him a house, and they ended up buying him like a little trailer or something.
They bought
like
him a trailer and like a truck, and then I think like they might have given him like maybe $75,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah,
but I mean, and then like I guess it's all gone. I was reading today like all that they told the judge, like the lawyer told the judge, no, we still have like $200,000 still there, but I guess it's all gone. I think they spent it on themselves. And I think I read that they got raided. The police raided their home today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because they set up a GoFundMe for the guy.
Yeah, for that guy, yeah.
Yeah, that's what people put money in for, but they only gave him so much, and they kept saying, like, he was like, oh, he's using it on drugs. And he even said it. He goes, yeah, I use some on drugs. But, I mean, if the money's for him, it's for him.
Yeah, the money's for him. If he wants to
buy drugs, $400,000 worth of drugs.
Then let him buy it, dude.
Yeah.
That's what the money is for.
Yeah, you're not his, his father or his guardian. So I just thought that was weird. I mean, have you been keeping up with that at all or no?
I read some of the story. But I don't know. I figured they were spending all the money.
Yeah.
Because he had like a lawsuit against him to get the cash.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, like over like 14,000 people like gave in some money for $400,000, and I think they were like even on TV like this last week, like on the Today Show, and saying, yeah, we helped him out and this and that, and I guess they gave him roughly $75,000 from the GoFundMe to purchase a camper and SUV, both of which he no longer has. Yeah, so I don't know. That sucks because. It sucks because, when you get that type of money and then you kind of act like, hey, I'll just fucking spend it. That's why a lot of people, like when they do like the books, they're like, hey, if I just, shave a little bit here and, I'll have an extra few grand in my pocket, and then they get greedy, right? But this is like, man, all these people, they probably figure like this guy wouldn't be able to say anything or he wouldn't be able to.
That's why I don't trust the GoFundMe's because, I mean, you don't know. You know what you're giving the money to because it's just some dude. This is like random people, just
Yeah, help me out.
Like, help me out. Whatever. It was like,
Help
whatever random dude on the internet.
Yeah, I know. Shit. I know. Yeah, you've seen some of those people asking GoFundMe like to fund their wedding because they want to raise like 1.5 million for their
dream wedding.
Yeah, fuck off.
It's like it's called a job.
Yeah,
asshole.
work hard. Like
save up for it.
Yeah, if you can't buy it, don't fucking have it. So anyway. Fuck you, GoFundMe.
You got another story, or should we go?
No, that was it, man. That's it.
That was it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
so
tapped out.
Tapped out, huh?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we're gonna go on break, and when we come back, we're gonna get to the main topic, which is crimes inspired by creepypasta stories.
So we're back. So I was reading about some of the stuff about some true crimes and things like that, and then a few episodes back you talked about Slender Man and those two girls that stabbed in his name, remember?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like reading about some of that stuff, and I came across some other stories that I thought were kind of weird. And I'm not big into creepypastas. I don't know if you are, but I'm not really. But I thought. Yeah,
they're just scary stories.
I know, but I just
like what we grew up with.
I just don't know a lot about them. And so I kind of learned some stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
But here's some like weird shit that happened with him. So Laughing Jack, I guess, is a creepypasta.
Mm-hmm.
And this 12-year-old says that Laughing Jack told her to kill her mother, her stepmom. Okay. So Laughing Jack is a clown who befriends children as their imaginary friend before slicing them open and replacing their organs with candy. Okay, so he's a sweet clown.
He's got a sweet side.
Yeah. So this 12-year-old girl from Elkhart, Indiana, says that Laughing Jack told her to kill her stepmom. So I guess she fatally stabbed her mom and then set their apartment on fire.
Holy shit!
So the worst thing about this is, and this is this is tragic, I think, but the courts have declared her incompetent to stand trial, as she has said she heard voices and had an alter ego months before the stabbing, and she also begged her father for help, but he didn't give it.
That's like the Slender Man case, because I think did
they ask for help too?
Well, they didn't get real jail time, but they did get like I think they went to
aren't they being tried as adults, those girls?
I don't think they were. I thought they got like basically they have to be in a mental hospital. Okay.
So the doctors have diagnosed her with post-traumatic stress and dissociative identity disorder. So that's formerly multiple personality disorder. So she won't stand trial unless she's deemed fit to understand the charges against her. So I guess she's got some pretty bad trauma, but why she said that Laughing Jack clown was the reason why she killed her mom is really weird. I don't get that. Like, I wonder if she like was infatuated with the story. Mm-hmm. You know how some people like just get so into something.
Yeah, that they believe it.
Yeah, it has to be true, right? This has to be, what, you want me to do this? Especially if she was hearing things, right? That's pretty shitty.
Well, I mean, didn't the clown just told her to stab the mom, right?
Yeah.
He did tell her to catch the whole place on fire, so
not that we know of. Maybe did and she forgot. I don't know.
She's like, well, I better get this shit done right.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna be mad at me.
He's getting mad. I'm gonna go a step above and
I know. I'll make him love me. Okay, so this other one is called. So there was another creepypasta about. I don't know if you ever read about it. I remember reading about this one a while back, but it was like a weird and like I said, creepy one called "My Dead Girlfriend Keeps Messaging Me on Facebook." So it was kind of the person wrote a pretty good story. It was like heartbreaking and it was scary, and it was like basically a guy whose girlfriend that he loved was in a car crash and she died. So he decided to leave a Facebook page up, to commemorate her. Mm-hmm. So only him, the boyfriend, and the deceased mother had the Facebook page password. So they were the only ones who could log into it.
Okay.
So the widowed boyfriend started getting messages from his deceased girlfriend, and a lot of they were all like recycled messages that they had in the past, like just stuff that they had talked about, but they just kept coming through to him. So the story was kind of, it was a good story. It was a good creepypasta, except I guess something like this, it did happen in real life. So Todd Colehep, he kidnapped the local South Carolina woman, Kayla Brown, and her boyfriend in 2016 and posted on their Facebook page in a poor attempt to make it seem like they were still out in the world enjoying life.
So was he like posting pictures of them all kidnapped?
Just like, no, they were just like, he just posting, like, hey, we're at, this place, we're at Disney World, right?
Oh, okay.
But he had, but the truth was that the boyfriend was already dead, and Kayla was chained like a dog in a shipping container. But he was going on their Facebook page and saying, hey, we're here, or hey, we're going to this place. So
people think they're like traveling then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're not home. The reason they're not home is because they're out in these places, doing all this shit. Mm-hmm. And one of the weird things that Cole Hep made on Kayla's Facebook contained lyrics from Hotel California. You remember that song by the Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember like one of the verses. It was like he wrote, this is the quote from the story from the song. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man. We are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. And that's creepy. Yeah, and he had her, like I said, chained in a shipping container, and he was just like, she was his pet, and like her boyfriend. I guess they found him when the cops found him later. Like he had been buried on his land. Mm-hmm. He like killed the boyfriend like right away. Like he probably he liked her. What's that?
So how long did he have her caged up?
It was like a few months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had her. Like, it was like people started getting wiser to it. Like, what the fuck?
I think that'd be creepier just to get murdered, but to actually have somebody like chain you up in a shipping container, that would be fucking traumatizing.
Oh man, and then like, you know, she was with her boyfriend, and you know, he shot the boyfriend in front of her, and he knew, like, right there he put fear in her, like, hey, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna kill you too. So
I'd rather them take me out. I would want to be in a shipping container.
Oh yeah, you don't want to. Exactly, I get that.
But I don't know. There's some people that would be like, you know, I'm gonna stick it out and see if I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to die.
This, yeah.
Oh, I mean, you know, I don't want to die. You know,
Yeah.
you might feel the same way. I don't want to die. I'll do what you say.
Yeah.
So basically, she was his captor for a while, and then they finally ended up catching him. But I mean, it's basically like, you know, the messaging thing on Facebook. You know, he's posting things from the boyfriend too. The boyfriend's dead.
So did they say how they caught him, or how they found out he was? Was it the Facebook post that they discovered that he was doing it, or?
I guess deputies in South Carolina said they heard loud banging coming from a metal storage container on a rural property. So they were just out there, I guess. She had been captive for 2 months, is what they said, and she was it was kind of like a sex crime. I think he was using her, like I said, for sex.
Yeah.
But I guess there was possibly like 4 bodies buried on that property. So that's why the cops, they had kind of been tipped off about something, like some weird shit about there, the guy being kind of weird. Mm-hmm. So that's when they went out there and just kind of did a search, and they heard her banging on the container.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she was, like I said, I mean, the guy...
That's lucky.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if the guy, you know, if he really wanted to do some shit, he could have put her, like, in a soundproof container, right? I mean, I'm glad he didn't. It's good that she got caught, that she got found out.
Like, you know, if I did it.
Yeah, but I mean, he was covering his tracks. You know, like, he was posting as if, you know, like, they were out and about. Like, hey, don't worry about me. We're here and this and all this shit. And so,
yeah, well,
you know, some people would be like,
must have worked.
Yeah, it did for a couple,
yeah,
you know, for a while.
For a couple months, because people weren't really asking questions. I mean, because people think you're probably on vacation. You know, they don't. I mean, eventually they'll probably like, when are they gonna get back? But
yeah, exactly. Like, hey, it's. And I think they, after a couple months, they're like, hey, you know, what's going on here? Like, you know, what, do you quit your job? You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was still doing that. You know, he was still trying to cover his tracks, and it worked for a little bit. But I just thought, man, that's kind of creepy. So this other creepypasta was about, you know, it feels like somebody's always watching you. So, you know, we've all heard some of those creepypastas about someone hiding in the house or hiding under the bed or allegedly just watching the victim, right? And a lot of times, like, they leave a message, you know, like a text, or they call them up and they say, you know, hey, aren't you glad I didn't turn out the light, or, you know, something like weird like that, like if you did, I would have got you.
They're in the house, like, watching you and making sure that you know. Exactly.
Like or like the next day, you know, you wake up, you get a message, like, you fall asleep with the light on, and then you get a message the next day like, oh, you're lucky you left the light on. You know, I would have got you if you turned it off. I was just waiting. So, yeah. So a few years ago in Cheshire, England, a 16-year-old girl had this happen to her. So she got a text saying, "I'm watching you." After that, she got other messages, but one told her he was going to hang himself outside of her first floor bedroom window. So these texts, they eventually found that these texts came from an 18-year-old Kyle Ravencroft from Ellesmere Port. He told her that he was in the house, so she was freaked out, so she went and slept with her mom. So she was getting these messages. She didn't know who he was, but she was getting all these weird messages, and she's like, "Fuck it, I'm going with my mom." So the next morning, she went to her room, and she felt like she was being watched. So she noticed, like, a little mess under her bed. You know, it was always, like, clean and tidy, but she noticed that, like, it was kind of, like, messed up under there. So she crouched down and looked under the bed, and that's where that guy, Kyle, was hiding under the bed. And he was awake, and she asked him, like, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I fell asleep." You know, he's just being honest, I fell asleep. So her mom came in, and she said, "Get the fuck out of here." So he burst out, he fled, but he grabbed her phone, and he fled. So he eventually got arrested after it was found that her bedroom window lock had been destroyed. So when the cops came, they saw that. So he was released on bail, but he got arrested again after he showed up at her work. He was trying to give her a letter. Yeah.
Oh, super stalker status.
Yeah. So from the news, you know, this is from the news. It says he entered a plea guilty to a charge of stalking. In total, he was given a 12-week sentence, which was suspended for 2 years. He was also fined 100 pounds payable to the girl. Kyle Ravencroft was ordered to complete 80 hours of community service, and he will be on probation for an undisclosed amount of time. The girl also has a restraining order against him, which will prohibit him from going near her or texting her from under her bed. Yeah, so this fucking guy, like, you know, those stories, he was there. He was watching her. He was, you know, hanging out. And he just tried, you know, I guess he was in love with her, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what's that?
Too much in love.
Well, you know, I mean, they never said, like, if he knew her or if, you know, maybe he tried to talk to her in the past. You know, I mean, at least try and ask her out.
Was there a big age difference between them?
2 years. She's 16, him 18.
Oh.
So, I mean, again, he could have at least just been friends with her or something, you know, but I'm sure we've all known people that, like, fall in love with somebody and they're like, oh, I can't be without them.
Obsessed with them.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck, man, take it easy. Go watch porn or something.
Too much hormones.
Yeah, go jerk off for a while or something. You know, you don't need to be doing this. Don't be stalking anybody. Jeez. I mean, that's like, you know, that's no good. That's no good.
That's good. That shouldn't be done. That shouldn't.
I know.
But, yeah, but
go get a blow up doll.
That does happen a lot, though. I mean,
do you think there's a lot of stalking like that?
I think there's a lot of stalking. I think it's to that level, but you know, but even like just being in love with someone's kind of stalkerish. I mean, because you do stuff that you normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like making sure that you know. Meet up or see
I'm
him.
I'm gonna be where she's at.
Yeah, at that. All you know.
I know she's gonna be here. Meet this other guy, but I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch her.
I'm gonna be there. You know. I'm gonna be. I don't know. Just people when they become infatuated with others. You know they.
Have you ever known anyone like that?
There was a guy that did that to my sister. Or he was always but then it was weird because it turns out he was gay.
Oh.
So, I don't know, because he was always like buying her flowers, but doing just like always making comments, asking her to marry him and all this other stuff.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and then it turned out like a couple of years he's like, oh, I'm gay, you know. He's like he has like a husband now, and
oh wow,
yeah. So I was like, what the hell was all that then for? Because made her life miserable.
Did she end up like telling anybody
that he was doing that? Yeah. She told me, and I told her. I told him to
cool it.
To back off, and he did a little bit, but he was just, I don't know. He was just kind of weird in general.
Dang, that's weird. And then, do you still see him around?
Yeah. It was. I'd see him on Facebook, and he would always make like sexual comments to me. Of course. He likes to keep it in the family, I guess. I don't know.
Like, screw your sister. I want you.
I want you now. So I had to tell. I was like, hey, dude, I don't swing that way. You go be gay wherever you want to be gay, but
are you serious, man?
Yeah.
Oh God. Your sister's too. It's not good enough for me. I was talking to her to get to you this whole time.
So what else you got?
Okay, so I got this other one called it's called the Pope Lick Monster. So, hey man, I don't make these fucking names up, all right?
The Pope Lick Monster?
Yeah, the Pope. Maybe it's your gay friend that named it. Maybe he wrote
What was his Facebook name on there?
So the Pope Lick Monster, which was named after the Pope Lick Creek, below the Pope Lick train trestle. Fuck, there's a lot of licking here. So this creature, this monster, appears as a human goat hybrid with a grotesquely deformed body of a man. Mm-hmm. Has powerful fur covered goat legs, an alabaster skinned face with an alkaline nose and wide set eyes. Has short, sharp horns protrude from its forehead, nestled in a long, greasy hair that match the color of the fur on its legs. So that's how this monster allegedly looks. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, according to some accounts, the creature uses either hypnosis or voice mimicry to lure trespassers to the trestle to meet their death before an oncoming train. So other stories claim that the monster jumps down from the trestle onto the roofs of cars passing beneath it. But other legends tell that it attacks its victims with a blood-stained axe. It's also been said that the very sight of the creature is so unsettling that those who see it while walking across the high trestle are driven to leap off. So, this is, again, these are just stories. I don't know. I couldn't read or find anyone who actually said they've seen it. Mm-hmm. But there's been a couple accidental deaths from the people searching for it. So I guess, up on that trestle, people have been hit by the trains and, killed. So because of this, the authorities have let it be known that anyone caught on the bridge could be prosecuted for trespassing. So I guess it is a problem. And I remember watching this on a show one time, and they were interviewing one of the families of one of the kids that had done that. They had been up there looking for it, and I guess, and when I remember watching the show, they were like pretty sure that the boy was hypnotized. He was smart enough to know not to go up there and do that, but yet it was as if he was like pulled to do it.
Something was controlling his body.
Something, yeah. Like he couldn't make the choices on his own. So I don't know. Like I said, I couldn't find anyone who's actually said they've seen it. But again, this is a creepypasta. So why people are out there looking for it is beyond me.
So does anybody get licked in this thing, or what?
If they do, they don't live to tell about it. Maybe that's what that. Maybe that's what that guy looking for the beaver was out there looking for the. That was fucking the beaver was out looking for the public.
Maybe that was him.
Yeah, he thought, this is the public. I'm gonna fuck it. So I don't know. I don't know anybody who's done that. Who's found it or seen it or been licked by it, or licked it, or licked it,
or licked it.
But yeah, they should change the name of that. Okay, so I got one last one, and this is one that everybody's heard of: the black-eyed children.
Oh.
So the black-eyed children, and in case anybody hasn't, the black-eyed children are basically ghost children with giant black eyes, which sounds kind of weird and crazy. And it's hard to imagine how they would make any waves in the real world. It's kind of like, whatever. It sounds dumb. But the first story of it, stories of the black-eyed kids began to appear in 1988. So I guess some journalist named Brian Bethel reported meeting two unusually confident and eloquent children who attempted to talk him into giving them a ride in his car. Mm-hmm. So in his story, Bethel said that he almost opened the door and he let the children in until he noticed that their eyes were completely black with no iris or pupil. So as soon as the children realized that he noticed something odd about them, they became very angry and insistent. So he just fucking booked it, like in his car. He just floored it, and he was out. So later on, like he basically implies that the children, they may have been using some type of like mind control method to induce him to open the door. Like, because I guess when he was there, he felt a little weird, and he was feeling himself needing to open the door, but he didn't want to. But like the desire to open it was overcoming him until he finally just kind of snapped out of it and hit the gas. So since this first story about this initial meeting, there have been lots of reports about it, about the black-eyed kids trying to coax people into opening the doors of their car or their house, to let them in. So like things they say to excuses they use are like I need to use the bathroom, I need to call home, I need to get home to my mother. Just any type of excuse implying that they're in some sort of need,
Yeah.
So it seems like all the people who are reporting about this unusual encounter have never let the child or children in because of the fear. So therefore, I mean, we don't know what happens if you invite like one of these kids into your home or car. I did one time read one story though where some guy, he was duped into letting them in. So they were asking him, and he felt like compelled to let them in, and he did. He let them in, and when he did, one of them walked in and said, "I need to use the bathroom," and he says he's like, "Yeah, it's upstairs." So I walked to the stairs, and he said he looked back at the other kid who was just standing at the door, and when he looked back at the kid that was at the stairs, it was like maybe a second and a half. Mm-hmm. The kid was already at the top of the stairs walking into the hall. And that's when he realized, wait a minute, something's not right. Like, there's no way this fucking
this kid's
kid
ain't
got
right,
up there.
man.
Yeah, that is ain't no Usain Bolt. This fucking kid just got out there, and so he said when he looked at the other kid looked like creepy, smile at him, and he said he's like, all right, I'm fucking out, and he jumped into like his study, into his den, And he shut the doors. And he said they both came to the doors and they were knocking. They were like, let us in there with you. Let us in. And he was in there for like, he said like, it felt like hours. He said they just stayed there, kept knocking on the door, you know, pleading with him to let him in, open the doors.
Oh, shit. That's fucking creepy.
Yeah, and he finally ended up getting enough courage. Like, he looked out the window. He's like, I can make it. He was like, I'm going to try and make it to the neighbors. And he finally got the courage. He was freaked out. This guy was scared. Like, what did I do?
Uh-huh.
And he jumped out the window and he made it to the neighbors. And then when him and the neighbor came back, the kids were gone. Door was open. The front house door was open. No sign of the kids anywhere.
Huh.
So again, I'm not saying that's a full truth story, you know, as if it's, you know, something real like, you know, mathematics or anything. I'm just telling you that's a story that I've heard.
Uh-huh.
But this because, you know, when I was reading this, they say that nobody's really done that, but I also read that happened to one person. So again, I'm not sure if you can, you know, accept that or discount it, but I gave you both sides to that. But this one place, the story that I was going to talk about was in, I guess in Cannock Chase in a Stratfordshire town in England, where they say there's been lots of Slenderman sightings. People have also seen creepy kids running around town, I guess. So most of these sightings involve someone hearing a child scream and then noticing that same kid with hollow black eyes. Again, this could all be fake, could be bullshit. Maybe there's one or two kids in that town of Cannock that are just fucking around with everybody, you know.
Yeah, to pull tricks or pranks on people.
Yeah, just trying to scare everyone, you know, like Slenderman stuff. Or maybe the Cannock Chase exists in a plane between dimensions where ghostly apparitions roam free. I mean, if people were supposedly seeing these kids and, you know, there's supposed to be a lot of Slenderman sightings, maybe they're in a place, you know, on the Earth where, you know, a dimension or a portal or something exists that you can't see, but it's there.
Yeah, you'd think with, like, if there was a lot of sightings and stuff and, you know, everybody has cell phones on them, that somebody would have some good footage or, you know.
Yeah, well, it's like Bigfoot, right? Does anybody have any good footage?
Nobody's real, though.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, all that stuff, you know, Loch Ness, you know, this. I understand when I was growing up in the 80s and you'd see things like that. You know, they always had the shitty cameras, you know. Oh, I pulled out my camera, my reel-to-reel camera. And, you know, it was like, it was all like grainy. And all yeah. But I feel like now they should have some shit.
Yeah, there should be something out there because, I mean, everybody has a camera. I mean, shit. Even if somebody goes to Starbucks and they get treated poorly, there's a camera popping out, you know.
Exactly.
It's like for stupid stuff. So, like, if it's something that crazy, there should be more footage of it. But then again, it's still kind of hard because even if you do have footage,
nobody's gonna believe you.
The CG, you know, with CGI nowadays,
they're gonna be like, nah, this is fake.
It's almost impossible to have something that's.
You can't have anything that anyone's gonna believe you. On one half, people who want to believe will be like, "Oh my God, this is true," and then the skeptics will be like, "Nah,
nope.
He did this as a CGI. He enhanced this or that." So it's almost like you have to see it yourself. You can't go by anybody's word or their camera anymore. I mean, the camera, maybe about 7 years ago, you could have probably got away with it. You know, like, oh yeah, I believe this. So maybe 10 years ago.
But people still believe it though. No matter what, you know.
I know. That's why I said those who want to believe it will believe it, and those who will not believe it, you cannot get them to believe it at all.
Well, yeah, it's like, you know, flat earthers.
Exactly.
No matter what, you know.
Yeah, you can't argue with a flat earther that the Earth's round.
Yeah,
they will always tell you that it's flat.
It's like people believe in ghosts. Most of them, you know, you could tell them, you know, there's no such thing or whatever. But they, no matter what, any kind of footage or
it's all at your discretion. It's at the person's discretion. It would be nice to have some concrete proof on some of this stuff, though.
It would be pretty cool. I would love it, you know.
Oh yeah, I would like to know. I mean, scientifically and all that stuff, it'd be cool. I'd be all for that. But I think, you know, these, like, reading these creepypastas, you know, some of these younger children, these kids are like taking these things too serious.
Yeah. It's the same old we were kids, you know, like we believed everything they told us.
I know, but I mean, we didn't stab anybody
That's true.
Right? We didn't do that.
Or I don't know, maybe the news, because, you know, back then, like, the news coverage wasn't as the way it is. It wasn't like 24-hour news, you know. Stuff like this happened. Because I remember back in the 80s with, like, the satanic panic, you know, people were believing that, or, you know, or I even remember kids doing stupid shit like laying in the middle of the road because there was like a movie where people did that.
The program. In the dark. It was that football movie.
That one football movie, and then maybe kids.
And they took that scene out of the movie, like the rentals.
Yeah. So I mean, people were doing it. It's just right now, it's like there's so much news, and we have like YouTube and all that stuff, so it's all being seen by everybody. Like back then, I mean, you only had like the 9 o'clock news or whatever, so there was there was stuff going on, but we didn't really hear about it.
I know. Well, then maybe that's what stopped people from doing a lot more things, is because it wasn't spread around so easily.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the thought of people doing this, maybe might have happened if you picked up that book at the library and read it, versus now, like you said, it's posted everywhere, YouTube, news. Yeah, then people can just read about it, and
it becomes more in the public mind, and people more.
Yeah, it gets glorified more.
Yeah, so people see it more. People, spread the rumors. They make their fake videos, or they tell their stories, and it just grows quicker.
Yep, it just snowballs right there. So I don't know. I just it's sad hearing about some of these things, and it's scary to me. It is like I don't want to read about anybody doing things like this, but unfortunately it happens.
Yeah, but I mean, people enjoy being scared.
I'm present company.
That's why we do the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm talking about going above and like doing these stabbings or stuff like that.
Yeah,
man, that's too much for me. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, after my first stabbing, I just said, I'm done.
Yeah, after the cops almost caught you.
It's too much trouble. Yeah, too much trouble.
I don't know. After all that evasion, after the fugitive.
I'm like the guy with the library book, and I can't even look over my shoulder
No,
anymore.
yeah, you were watching your ass. So on that note, that's all I got, sir.
That's all we got. So everybody have a good morning, evening, or night, and we'll see you next week. And until then, stay strange.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you enjoy the show, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening, and please give us a good rating. If you want to share a story or have ideas for a future episode, you're welcome to visit us at www.thestrangepodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you.